Welcome back with TFTalks with epickingsalt and Karanthir. As usual, we're going to be talking about different TFT puzzles and how we can all improve at the game. All of the puzzles discussed will be in the description. As a reminder, we do this podcast every Saturday at 11 a.m. EST or around that time. Today we are joined by our guest Joshua, and
Hello, that's me. Just in case.
So we can just jump right on that. Can you guys test your audio actually real quick?
Test.
Okay, good. So have you guys tested out any of the new? Have you played the game this patch?
Not too much, but quite a bit. Oh, Joshua, go.
I've been playing a decent amount of just memeing around before I get into it in ranked. I've been playing a lot of Riven. She's really fun.
I've played. Let me see. I got 2 firsts today, so I'm happy.
Nice.
So I've played 23 matches on my Smurf, which is kind of my main account right now. For now, 23. I'm ranked. Where is the rank? I'm ranked 45. No, it can't be 45. Wait, I was 30. Anyway, whatever. Doing very well, like 200 some P masters, and then I'm raising my actual account now. I went first, then fifth, then first. That fifth was really tilted.
Oh.
But I think I'll get to Diamond 1, like 50 OP or something, and then play 1 game to master to get that account to master as well, and then we'll start the climb. So. Yeah,
that sounds crazy.
I think all around it's been around 30 games all in ranked. The patch is really fun. I love the game now.
I think the patch has been great, honestly. Like I've done all sorts of like off meta comps, just like slap things together, and as long as you have a front line and a back line, you'll do good.
Yeah, it seems really the flow is so good. Like you go from early game to mid game to late game to end game, and all feel distinct parts of the game. Econ matters. You can go to 9 without being at 10 HP.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just hope Hyperroll doesn't ruin this at all. Be very nice.
I don't see Hyperroll like being too prevalent because
now no, but it will rear its ugly head. Don't worry.
You think? Because I feel like
it always does.
So Hyperroll generally you want that really strong unit, right? But Urgot exists in the game now, and if that one unit is supposed to be a carry, I played this morning 4 Chrono, 3 Blade Masters, and I slapped an Urgot 2 that I got. There was a mech player deleted. There was a Bangbro player deleted Yasuo, deleted Yi. So the rest of the fight was just a lot easier to deal with. So I like how it just messes with the 3 stars and the GA abusers.
Yeah, but then like if it's Hyperroll, then the defensive item of choice will be Trapclaw, and then you're fine against it. So it's not really. And Urgot is so squishy. Like I haven't had real troubles against Urgot. I've used him fairly well with Thresh mostly.
Yeah.
But I haven't really had issues with Urgot so far. I don't feel he's been like the reason I lost. He's been the reason I won, but I haven't felt like he's too oppressive. Even when I won, it wasn't really the 100% reason. Like I had played really strong until that point. I feel like Urgot is at a decent spot right now. I do predict that they're going to nerf his mana a bit. They already did before live hit. They might nerf his mana a little bit more next patch. But other than that, I think he's in a great spot. Like the game is in a great spot. Right? There's so many things that are viable.
The one unit I wanted to address, and I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm doing a workaround. But the one thing I wanted to address was, how do you feel about Cassiopeia? I've seen a lot of talk about her being maybe a little bit too strong.
She's a bit overtuned. But again, like as soon as Cassiopeia became prevalent, you've got the Infinity Last Whisper comps. You've got Urgot, who destroys the Vanguard Mystic comp if he has enough of a front line or units to just distract them, because they're not very quick at killing things. Even Cassio kills everything slowly. So Urgot just gets 2 to 3 ults. Sorcerers, surprisingly enough, beat that comp, especially if you got, because it's just, if you got 6 sorcerers, I don't give a shit if you got 4 mystics. It's like 75% spell power. I'm going to destroy you. Also, I put Giant Slayer on a Gangplank. He does, and since they have all so much health, you do 80% true damage on top of the damage he does. So that's, I don't know. There's so many counters to the Vanguard Mystic comp that even though Cassio as a unit is a bit too strong, I don't feel the comp is ridiculous in any case.
So you feel that it's because it's counterable, it's playable, and so it's in a relatively healthy state on the game?
Yeah, it's not like it's counterable by one thing, and that one thing is really tough to get. Like, it's counterable by a lot of things. I've beat the you can beat the comp with Yi with true damage. You can beat the comp with sorcerers. You could beat the comp with cybernetics. You destroy the comp with cybernetics actually if you go the Thresh or Got route as well. It's definitely not. It's maybe a bit too strong top 4. Like, it's way too consistent top 4 with.
Yeah.
But is that bad? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's too bad. That's why I really like the game. I feel like every single comp can top 4. Even Brawler Blasters, which are kind of bad.
So Joshua, I don't know if you saw it on this last section. So today we have 8 puzzles, and I really want to do to get your guys' feedback on what elo do you think these puzzles are from. I think it's really fun, and I don't know. I think it might be more silly. It might not necessarily be like more of a skill thing, but I think it's fun. So you can, like, when we're done talking about it, you can give me your feedback, and then I'll hear Karanthir's, and then I'll tell you guys what they actually were.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna edit something here. I'm thinking about switching to OBS Streamlabs because I should not be having these difficulties. Okay, so this is the first one.
Do you have 2 monitors?
I don't.
Yeah, that streaming without 2 monitors is a grief.
Yeah.
I have 3, and it's even 3 sometimes it gets weird. It got weird back when.
So what do we think?
Anyway.
Okay, so the
Cybers. I really dislike the backline positioning, by the way. There's nobody plays infiltrators. You really don't need it anymore. It's actually detrimental.
I don't understand why they have Teemo instead of Vayne. I guess Teemo has an item?
Maybe.
I don't know. I would sell Teemo and Fiora and put Ginsu and Vayne.
Yeah, same.
And then put in Jace. Oh no, not Jace. Graves for the blast. Because that's a Teemo with that Astro is bad. It's really bad. So he's 81 HP, 12 out of 32, 3-7. I would level to 7 here as well, bro. Is it?
Well, I think it's.
Oh, it's 3-7. No, wait. That's the PvE. Yeah. So he'll probably go 7 after this. Yeah, he'll go 7 after. But yeah, like, Ginsu's has to happen. It's probably a Cybers game. He's got really strong Cyber Open.
So this is pretty much
he has
Cyber
Cyber
to the
Chrono.
point where, like, there's probably no pivoting from this, right?
There is 2 Astro. You can definitely go Astro with this. As the snipers. But why? I mean, you've got a Vayne, you've got a lot of HP, you're win streaking, you need 1 more Vayne for 2-star, you've got red buff Lucian. Like, there's no reason. It's so strong.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
also
I
have
added the
40
new
gold,
thing
so you're
at
good
the top.
econ.
It's like the next opponent, and so they're not really the next opponent this person would actually play, and the blitz and Zephyr positioning isn't what it was actually on the board. But trying to add more stuff to talk about, and to try to make it a little bit more realistic, it's significantly challenging.
Next opponent, 6 Sorks?
Yeah, I'm just like, let's assume he's fighting 6 orcs, right? Probably not, but if they were,
Okay.
what
I mean, in that case, I think you
what
can
would
put
be
the
thought
blaster
process?
in.
Blaster will definitely help against 6 Sork.
Yeah, because if you put the Jason, you don't really get much from the armor, but the blaster definitely helps with the healing reduction.
Mhm.
But definitely
No,
the Gwen suit is the biggest thing, I think.
even though Last Whisper Infinity Edge is amazing right now, like, and you'll need like 2 gloves to get it. Depends what he gets in the PvE stage. If he gets 2 gloves, for example, he can make Infinity Last Whisper, sell a Fiora and a Caitlyn, put in the Vayne, put in the Graves, and go nuts. He'll find another sniper, preferably Ash.
Yeah.
Or just keep Teemo, actually. Yeah, just keep Teemo for sniper. You lose Chrono, but whatever. Your Vayne will two-shot everything.
So then at this
Just
point,
reduce
it's
the
important to not overvalue the chrono buff, right?
Sure, that too. Chrono's great. It's just in general, you need to just decide at this one that you're going cybers. You have a good cyber start. So just go cybers in the best way that the game deals you. Depends on the items you get in this PvE stage and on what stuff you get in your shop in the next stages.
Basically,
feel
the rest
Chrono
of the
1
game
is
is
kind
really
of a bait.
dependent on this PvE stage, and I think this one's relatively straightforward. So, what elo do you guys think this is?
But
Josh?
platinum.
I feel it's gold.
It was platinum.
Yes.
Oof.
Finally got one. I think that's my first one, right? Actually, I was close in last.
The thing is, last time I messed with you though. Last time I think I made them all challenger. So
Yeah, most of them were like diamond, but they were really bad diamond.
yeah, so this time, I definitely put a couple of challengers in this one. So I definitely want to mess with you. So I think that'll be fun.
Okay.
So we're going to the next one, and this one I didn't. Man, I keep forgetting one thing or the other. I'm trying to get a system where I don't forget, because the previous one I left the enemy tokens, and this one I forgot like the actual words. Wait, oh, and the entire backline bench got deleted for.
Wait, 3-5? No, this one's broken.
Yeah, this was. Let's skip this one. I don't know what happened with that one. I apologize.
It's okay. Oh, that one's good.
Okay, so we got.
Holy shit, that's a lot of Zephyrs.
Yeah, no. So one enemy has one Zephyr. This just different Zephyr positioning and different blitz positioning. Yeah, this is what I meant to say with the other one.
Okay, that's cool. So the backline one is one player and the frontline one is another player.
Yes.
Either the Sabre or the Rep. Okay. Okay, that's cool. And we're playing some sort of last brawlers with really bad items. Why do you have Sojins?
When I was making this one, I
What?
saw the items and I'm like, Karanthir's gonna lose it.
Yeah. This is really bad.
Oh dear.
So Joshua,
Sojin
what,
Lucian.
I don't know if you saw the other podcast, right? But like, what do you think is annoying Karanthir the most out of this entire board?
I mean, honestly, just the Lucian.
What about the
One
Lucian?
star with all the items. Like, one star with Shojin, and on top of that, he has a Morello.
Yeah.
Did he have a chance to make red buff? Because he has like a Bramble and the Titan Resolve.
The thing is, like, for many of these, I'm just scouring Twitch. So
Yeah.
because honestly, each
Oh,
of these
man,
takes me about
and
15
Kog'Maw
to 20 minutes to
has-
make. So I just like, oh, okay, this seems like an interesting, maybe not good, but interesting board. So I'll just take a picture and then I'll just make it.
Kog'Maw has thieves' gloves.
Yeah. And he's winning too. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
I mean,
is a hint that
64
this is not
HP, 50
necessarily the
gold
highest
isn't that
elo,
bad.
right?
Yeah, no, he's doing well. Like 5-1, 64 HP. He's probably first. Oh, fifth?
Yeah.
Wait. Fifth. Oh, it might be medium legend.
So
Okay.
for the next, do you think I should include the galaxies as well? I wasn't sure of it. I can.
Maybe. It does. It just gives you extra info. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a
So
small
is-
detail.
He's probably going for a 3-star Kog'Maw, but he has Thief Gloves on him, so that's a bad idea for starters.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he wants to just replace the Kog'Maw Thieves Gloves on something else. The problem with Sojin Morello is that they're not good with Brawler Blasters at all. Like, there's no unit that can really make use of them. Thresh can use the Sojin. Morello cannot be used by anyone anymore. The meth left. It's really, 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 really bad.
I mean, if anyone, I think at least Ezreal, but not even.
Sure, like, but Ezreal
Like
doesn't do any damage.
if you're stuck with the item, you might as well.
Yeah, you would probably put it on Ezreal. You're looking for an Ezreal right now, actually, to transfer those items, and
Plus, it
definitely
gives you
don't go for
type.
3-star cog.
It gives you Chrono too if you get him.
Yeah, exactly. So
So-
it's a decent upgrade.
What I found interesting was that this person actually had 50 gold and a level 3 Ilaoi.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's doing good with econ and HP, but he's
He has
kind of
a really
trolling himself
strong.
with items.
He has no damage. He has a really good front line, especially when he upgrades Gnar. He'll have a very solid front line. So he needs to start building like a good backline thing. But he lacks the items for it. Thieves Gloves is like getting a Jinx here would be perfect, but then you don't have items for the Jinx. So that sucks. I think that his best, funnily enough, he might go for some sort of Teemo build, actually. That might be interesting. Sojin is not great on Teemo because when he has Astro, it's 40 mana. But he could play Teemo without Astro, playing Brawlers. Kind of seems a waste if you'll have 2 out of 3. But then the Sojins will be amazing on him. And then you just add a Brawler and a Sniper for the Cog and the Teemo, and maybe you got a comp in your hands. But honestly, this itemization is really bad. The only good Sojin user right now is Lulu and Thresh, pretty much. The rest are kind of meh. Positioning is...
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah. Positioning against the Cyber player? Sure. Like, Lucian gets hooked, but he's not damaged, right? He better not be. And then he Zephyrs your Vi, which is okay. And then the other guy Zephyrs your Cog or your Gnar, and then hooks your Cog or your Lucian. So he's fucked against the guy with the with a backline Zephyr and Blitzcrank. But he might do okay against the Cyber. I mean, the other guy has Cyber, so he loses. So it's probably fucked.
So honestly, when I look at this, I'm like, I think his damage actually comes from his front line. So he basically doesn't have a back line.
His Alawi's carrying him
100%.
pretty hard.
Right? And
Yeah,
it's kind of
with 2
odd.
battle casts. Maybe a 4 battlecast build is what he should go for. This one. So like maybe get the Cassio and give her the Morello, and the Sojin who would be good battlecast with Sojin. Victor? Maybe Victor. Maybe Victor would be okay with it. And then you have like a 4 battlecast and your Lao is immortal. And also, I just saw it. Why are you not level 7? What the hell? Why are you level 6? Are you rolling for Kog'Maw?
No, I
Holy
think they're just
shit.
very greedy. Like at low elo, they are very, very greedy with their econ. They're like 50 gold.
Yeah.
They have to stay at 50 gold. Every pro player always stays at 50 gold, and I
mean,
No, they're not actually. Like you do not see them at 30 or 50 gold so much nowadays.
yeah,
they
I feel like
greed
they're hyper
so
rolling a lot.
I think they're power leveling.
They're power leveling, not hyper. They're
okay.
power leveling the hell out of it.
I think
It's-
this is the patch for for power leveling. Like it's so rewarding. It's incredible in my opinion.
Yeah. It's,
But the thing is,
going
like,
9 is really important, or at least 8. Going 8 is really.
the thing is, like, I feel
There's
like
a lot
people
of really
at low
good
elo are
3+
still playing
units.
like 2 to 4 patches behind because that's what they saw and that's what they're emulating, even if the patch changes, and they're still kind of just confused about what's going on because of the new units and whatnot. So, I think
Yeah.
that's the problem with this play. Unfortunately, this was not sent to me by someone, so we can't have a conversation with the person that made it, or like.
Is this
playing
gold?
So what elo do you guys think this player is?
I mean,
Gold.
I think I'm unlocking gold as well.
This guy was silver.
Cause
Close enough.
dude, yeah,
It's
he's
close.
he's in a pretty good state. So like, I mean, it's not that bad, but the items are a little
he's
on the weird side.
Yeah, and the leveling. So he's obviously low elo. This was obvious.
Yeah, so I think he's got
Okay.
multiple problems, right? Like his optimization is not the best. He has issues with positioning because I don't see a world where putting all of his front line in the second row makes any sense to me.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely not.
His composition needs work. I think it's more optimal because of. I don't think they know how to mix and blend items with synergies well. I think generally they're like, okay, I hit Ilaoi 2, I have a second Ilaoi 2 on the bench, I'm doing something brawler, and they kind of just close their eyes because what do they know from last patch that existed in the game, right? Brawler Blaster, okay, then I'm playing Brawler Blaster. Like, they're not thinking about pivoting or like what we could do with our current board and what's the strongest board. They're really not thinking about pushing levels because they want to hit that 50 gold breakpoint.
They are using their like TF tactics and stuff like that.
They
But,
are.
that's
That I think it's
fine.
really.
But they're just blindly following them. The problem with that is they're not letting their items dictate the synergies. They're letting the synergies. They're just getting whatever items they can, and then they just put synergies in at very random. Like they're not combining the two. Let's call it that.
So as a coach, you brought up something that I guess that was in the back of my mind. How do you feel about TF Tactics? I think it's good for newer players, but I feel it becomes a crutch, and I would like for people to stop using it as
I
much
tell
as
them
they
to
do.
use it. I tell new players to use it always, but I do give them the disclaimers that it doesn't include, which is don't go for designer comps, ignore the items that it shows. Always ignore the items. The items are like 2 patches behind.
Wow.
Like
I
yeah,
don't even look at
it's really
any of
bad.
the overlays. I wouldn't even know honestly, but wow.
Yeah, so just ignore the items. Don't go for designer comps. Use it. For the most part, I tell them to use it for the items because most of them have an issue like remembering which item makes what, and it has
Yes.
like a nice overlay that you can mouse over and see what the combos are.
And I think it's great.
So yeah, definitely use it for that. And other than this, just use it to know what comps are played. But I usually just direct them to the Lotus meta comp trend thing, which is updated a lot. It's constantly updated.
Yeah, I think Lol Chess is great. I use Bunny Muffins. I'm trying to figure out if I can look up multiple ones. I think I saw Meta TFT was probably not the actual name, but I saw a couple different sites that I was interested in order to like read them, make a compilation, and then try to talk about that because now there's too much information out there and not all of it is the same quality. And for my clients, I don't want them necessarily getting confused. I think Lol Chess is definitely good. I like the way Bunny Muffins works with his information, the way he breaks it down. So I think it's also good.
Yeah, it's just need to like all this info needs to come with a disclaimer, and I just have to give them that disclaimer, and just because game knowledge is gained from everywhere, so I'm not going to put a stop to that. Like TF Tactics enhances curiosity for the game. It's good. Everything, every knowledge, every information that it can get enhances the curiosity. It's good because it makes them more creative, but you need to like have that little asterisk there that tells them there's no designer comps. Don't go for the designer comps. They're a trap. Forcing things too much is bad. If you want to have fun, force all you want. But if your goal is actually ranking up,
The thing is that a fair assessment? I think it would be backwards, right? If you're trying to have fun, don't force it, right? When you're forcing it, you're gonna be disappointed when you didn't hit. But if you're playing what you get,
yeah, but when you hit,
Yeah, like that high is probably like what they're looking for
the thing is,
anyway.
like, I could get
Yeah.
that high in the hyper real, but I feel like hyper real isn't as prevalent, and
nah.
it could be just my assessment on the meta, right? But it just, I guess my assessment on how people enjoy the game. But
The closest thing to reroll is like the Vanguard Mystic, the Snake comp,
yeah,
which you can, if you have the luxury, you can try to like slow roll for the Casio, the J3. I did it with a student of mine. We actually did that at level 7. We chilled a bit and just re-rolled like 3 rounds. Got to like 8 Jason, 8 Casio, and then we just leveled to 8 and waited to get to the last 2.
nice, solid.
Yeah, like that's the closest thing I feel. Like there is no maybe the 6 Blade Masters is coming back.
It is,
It's
yeah.
really strong. So that 3-star Yi is a win condition there. So that's also something that you
And
hyper.
this might be more unrelated, right? But I kind of enjoy the tangent, and we lost a puzzle, so we got to make up the time somewhere.
Yep.
How do you feel? I read somewhere that somebody was complaining about the presence of Urgot and the mech. They were like, I can't play mech because Urgot's in the game, and like, there's no point to even trying to go mech.
That's wrong. Just play DPS.
So I
Just play Giant Slayer. I saw Rabadon's double Giant Slayer mech just instantly deleted the whole front line.
rather
Yeah,
than
sure, but then it can get or got hit. Whatever, I don't care. It's probably gonna die anyway.
yeah, I
As,
really
as,
really
as
like the changes
long as
that
it
they did to the mech because even though the unit's still the same, because of the number changes, it went from like a giant tank to a terrifying monster that would slap your entire front line. And if it has like,
Yeah.
I think I've seen it with an RFC. I was like, oh my goodness, look at that thing just swing.
It's still unoptimal. It's still suboptimal. Like I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, you can play mech. Just don't, just don't play tank mech.
Yeah,
Think about
Yeah.
it differently.
I haven't played
Plus,
it a
I
lot
feel like
myself
mech
just because I
are
find
common.
bro, I like playing with the newer units, right? And the mech is still like old units, so I don't see myself leaning towards the mech often. And Fizz is still a forecast, so I because I've never been in that situation in the last couple of games that I played, I didn't think about it. But when I read it, I was like, okay, I can understand where this frustration is coming from, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for the next one.
Joshua wanted to say something.
Oh, you wanted? Oh, my bad, Joshua. Go ahead.
Oh, I feel like mech is still accessible. So like, it's not that you're not gonna hit it.
Mhm.
So it does suck if it gets ergotted, but I mean that's kind of how it goes. You can't really like if ergot hits it, it's out of your control. I kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just trap. You can trap though.
Oh yeah, that's also a good thing you can do. Plus, trap claw will be good in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I think it's a solid item to go for. Like Trap Clock QSS almost never really goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
And if they put the Orgot close to your mech to make sure it targets it, because he doesn't have a lot of range, the mech could just flap him
Yeah.
and just kill him because he's so.
Actually,
Like there is counterplay every time. Yes, it's harder to play mech, but it's also hard. It's also harder to play other things. Well, it's not really an. It's Orgot is not the main problem to mech. I think they still haven't figured out mech, and also the pilots should be at like 45, maybe 50% HP when they come out. That might be okay. That might be a bit better.
yeah,
I think they come
like
out
that
at
they come
senior
out
elevation.
damage. It just makes sense, and it allows them to try to work around the mech without having to just completely gut it or make it completely busted. I did see someone put the mech in the back line, and I was very confused by it.
Yeah, it's against Urgot. It's good against Urgot. It's usually in the mech sorcerer build. I also like if you have a Riven, for example, you probably want her to be the tank, and the mech can come from behind as well. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with a mech, but that guy probably put it there to protect it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I see there's a lot of options, especially with Riven. Like, I feel Riven's really good for having a tank that can take a lot of time and just waste everyone's time, honestly.
I had the most butt clenching game with Riven today. It was so good. I lost streaks for like 7 rounds, and then I was slowly building up my. I had like single components that were good for Riven, but I couldn't like make them combine. And then slowly but surely, I got the items, and ended up with it being a first. And
Whoa.
Sorcerer Riven, right? 6 Sorcerer Riven, no spats, just Victor Zerath. Oh, I had a Balcast spat, but it was on Zerath, but that didn't really matter. It just synergizes a bit with Victor. But yeah, and I beat Vanguard Mystic comp for the first. So with sorcerers, like against 4 mystics, and I still beat them because Ionic was on Riven and GP had Giant Slayer. So it's beatable. It's definitely beatable, and with 3-star Cassio as well.
Whoa.
So it's not something that is. That's why I'm saying that it's really beatable. That comp. It's just really good, really consistent.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to talk about this patch, honestly, because I feel it's
Yeah.
surprisingly balanced. I'm actually so concerned because it feels so well balanced that they're gonna try to change something, and that one thing that they change is gonna just make it tumble down. I'm like, no, it was so good last patch, please.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried as well. But I think that if they see it's okay, they'll just make slight adjustments. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Also,
And
there are things that need a bit of fix.
Joshua, my bad if I interrupted you last time. Just let me know.
It's no biggie.
We can always take some more time. And then we have this one. This one was interesting.
Just needs thresh.
Well, this composition is very simple. It is chrono. Every single unit on the board is a chrono.
I mean, six chrono is not bad.
It's chrono. You slap it in.
Yep, pretty much. And I do want to make the caveat.
Bless
This is
you.
not the galaxy. Bless you.
Sorry.
This is not the galaxy where you got the 2 stars from the carousel. I can't remember the name. Star Cluster?
Star Cluster.
Yeah, it was not that galaxy. So this person was actively going towards Blitzcrank 3. Yeah, that was an Ezra 1 in the bench. I see the star moved. God dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Blitz 3 is not a good idea. There's no blaster, so the last Whisper on a 1-star Ezreal is kind of troll.
Yeah, like, they had very few items. And I remember taking the picture as the fight was about to start. So they were not using their QSS, and they were not using their glove either.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you need to... Like, it's 3-5 and you're winning. 6 chrono is definitely not bad. Like, early on, it slaps, right? There's so much attack speed. It's definitely not bad. It's just that he's going to fall off really badly soon. He's level 6 as well, and with 0 gold, which is really bad. He's in for a big dive in HP in a couple of turns.
They have
Yeah, I thought that he was completely broke.
Yeah, and the 4th stage he's going to have issues, because he's gonna lack damage. But yeah, 6 chrono is definitely not a bad synergy. I would for now I would just look to replace the blitz to start getting some other synergies outside of chrono because he has nothing. Either blaster would be good, another brawler maybe, sorcerer, anything like.
The worst part is he has a lot of options lined up because he could get armor, he could get sniper, he could get
He can get
he had a lot of
things.
options.
You get a lot of things.
Small caveat.
As for the final,
chick.
Sorry, go.
No, small caveat. This is a chick. I know it's kind of less.
Oh,
common,
she.
but...
Okay. No, it's fine. So yeah, she has to think about the next turn. Probably 6 chrono. Yeah, I will repeat it. 6 chrono is definitely not bad. You can even win off 6 chrono.
My biggest concern here is the gold, man. Like, you're win streaking, but you're win streaking because you've committed all of your resources to the early game, and I feel you're gonna take a nosedive in just a couple turns.
Yeah, she seems to use all the gold she got from win streaking to level, but it's 3-5 and she's level 6. It's not even that great. Like, you usually, if you aggressively win streak, you level to 6 at like 3-2 or 3-1, sorry, which is super aggressive. You by 3-5 you should have like 30 gold if you're still win streaking.
Because I feel that very aggressive playstyle that you're talking about, I think it's like the most aggressive version of power leveling, and to an extent I think that's okay. But then you're rolling down because I don't think you're leveling up because it's 4 out of 32, right? So at this point you're just rolling down for units, and the only thing that she hit was a Blitzcrank, and that is not a situation you want to be at.
It's okay. The 2 Blitzcranks are not terrible for now because she has no other option. And they're 2-star, so they will hook things and remove things from the equation. The Caitlyn is going to focus the right Blitzcrank, the TF, the left. It's just that the front line is going to be eaten up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if you call ults, and depending on the state of the board of the opponent, the Astro Battlecast guy, she might have a chance. But I think she's in for a nosedive, and it's good that she has a lot of HP. Then she can just use that HP to try to pivot to something that uses all that chrono. But yeah, the biggest problem is the gold, as you well put,
I feel
both
like
of you.
the second she loses a round, this game
It's
automatically
over.
becomes so dire, right?
It can be an 8th. This game can legit be an 8th.
And that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about like the strength of this board, because I feel that this person just focused on putting in as many units as she could, and this is a board that I think someone at low elo might say that it's strong, and I don't necessarily agree with that, just because of like the stars, the synergies, and the items. Quick question. I never find myself in this situation. I think I've done it once or twice because I was kind of trolling. Do you know what happens if you put two blitzes on the same side? I'm assuming they hook the same person, right?
They hook the same.
Okay.
It's
And
really,
if you have one in the back and one in the front, they hook two different people or still the same?
if they're on the same side, it depends. So like,
Like if you have a
put them on
blitzcrank
the
here and here.
yeah, depends. If there's a blitzcrank on the cubicle, the hexagon, not that one, the below one, yeah. So if there's one there, they hook the top one hooks the one where your mouse is, and then the bottom one hooks that one.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
that's
what I
okay.
thought.
That works. But if they don't have anything in the hexagon, the
Oh,
one that we first mentioned, then they both hook the corner one, which sucks.
gotcha. So
In
Joshua,
general,
you're
two
pretty...
blitzcranks can be interesting, but they can't be used like as a Zephyr blitzcrank.
So Joshua, you pretty much agree, right? I think that's what you mentioned. I don't know if you want to
I
add
mean,
anything.
I feel they have to, like, they have to hit the Wukong. I feel here because they're just in a really dire state currently, and they're gonna take that nosedive. And if they don't handle it well, that definitely looks like an 8th place or maybe a 7th place.
Yeah, my concern here is next round, they're gonna lose, right? They're gonna get desperate. They're gonna start donkey rolling every turn in order to look for Wukong 2. And I'm pretty sure that's not the play.
Yeah, the only good thing that can come out of this is loose streaking a little bit because you have enough HP to loose streak.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe getting good items in the carousel because you have like you're gonna lose streak, so you're gonna lose a lot of HP. But they're gonna have that blitzcrank there for a pretty long time if they're gonna try to 3 it, and it looks kind of bad.
It's fine. You can just sell it. It's 5 gold.
Oh,
No, yeah,
You
for
only
sure,
lose one.
for
Only
sure, I would
costs one.
sell it.
I kind of just forgot about the... I'm so used to playing the game how it was like a patch ago, right?
Huh. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty okay. You can just sell it. Oh. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Astro
This is
Brawler
looking
missed.
interesting, right?
Why do you? Oh wait, the previous one was gold.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, she was silver.
Oh, okay, close. Gold and below is the same elo, honestly.
Yeah.
Like gold 4, gold 3, and below is all the same.
I think
Pretty
we can
much.
make it so like, is it lower than gold? Is it lower than gold? Is it?
Oh, it's fine. We
diamond,
can
or
keep
it
it as
shiny?
is. Keep it as is.
Okay.
It's fine. It's just how it is in my mind. Like
Ah,
I
He won't feel that.
It's very similar. Like gold and below play very similarly, and then plat you start seeing a difference. And there are exceptions, obviously.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like golden below can be so random at times. Like I'll look at this board and it's just like I get it, but like why? Like
Do you
did,
get
did
it?
you never
Do you
get
know?
any units to do other stuff? Like you could have had vanguards in. You could have I don't know. You could have had so many different things, and they just like I am committed to Chrono, my guy. I am a clean aesthetic person. I like white and blue. I am playing Chrono.
He is a chrono only, chrono all the time.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, it's something that I would never be in this situation, right? So when I see these boards, I'm like, cool. I never thought about it.
Yeah. So novel.
So going to the next
Okay.
one.
Ooh, this guy is streaking.
Yeah, this
Wait, is that the Reddit Caitlyn build? Why is there a red buff on Rakan?
I honestly, I find
Okay.
myself less and less on Reddit, so I don't even know what that is.
That's the previous. It's the build. There was a few like a month ago, so it's a pretty decent one. Like a Hypero Caitlyn, and you put Deathblade Hurricane and Trapclaw on her,
Huh.
and it was pretty good. Actually, it ended up being a legit like strong build with as Shredder declined because
Oh.
it contested Shredder for Jarvan, so it wasn't very good while Shredder was good. But after it got bad, it actually ended up being legit strong build. Anyway,
So here I think we have a lot to talk about: items, positioning.
it's
synergy.
Brawler Blaster. Is it a she or a he? You know?
No, that was the only chick.
Okay, so it's a guy. So he's going Brawler Blasters, right? He has a red buff. He has Deathblade and Trapclaw. Defensive item Jinx is worse and worse every time I see it. In this meta, it feels like it's a wasted slot, especially with GA. But with even with Trapclaw, the Trapclaw can go though to another unit, so that's fine.
So how do you feel about Redemption, actually? I know this is, again, another tangent. But
Redemption is the best item in the game.
I love Redemption. It's so good. Like, having Redemption proc on 7 units is like, yes, let's go.
Dude,
That's
Redemption-
value, man.
Redemption is so good with snipers as well. It's because with snipers, you just need a bit of time, and Timo and Jin is just going to obliterate everything. So Redemption is amazing to just give you that extra time, especially if something dives onto them and does damage. It gives them that extra HP. I've found myself in games with like 2 or 3 Redemption as well.
Dude.
It's that good. I love Redemption. It's so strong. I slam it more than I should, maybe. Actually, I don't think it's more than I should.
No,
I slam it just the right amount.
I think it's solid. As a small
Just the
caveat, I think
perfect
we talked
amount.
about it last time, but don't slam 2 Redemptions on the same unit. You want it staggered to get the most value out of it.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever get different viewers on. So that
Yeah,
small recaps, like the whole show you can stare off. I think it's quick and easy.
Yeah. And you can try to mana bug it as well. So if you get like a Redemption, put the tier on, and when the combat starts, then complete it, right?
Yo,
to get the
like
extra mana.
talking about bugs, actually, that reminded me. So, I have the TFT instruction manual. I'll leave it in the description below. And I
It's not a
remember having
bug.
the conversation.
It's-
I think it was with Piba and you or somebody else about selling the unit after carousel, right? And
Oh yeah, it was with me.
Piba
we
said that
said-
you could, and I think you said that you couldn't. And then
Can,
I
you can.
saw Scar.
No, I said you can. You can. The difference is if the unit that you are that's about to start is one of them is on the board, can sell the one that the one that either comes in from the carousel or the one that is on the board. You can sell either of them.
Wait, you
If
can sell a
there's
unit on
2
the board?
units, one of them has to be on the board. Yeah, for that to work. If it's not on the board, you can't do it.
So I saw Scara, and then I believe he mentioned that it was a 50-50. So this is actually the most confusing carousel bug or mechanic.
It's not a bug. It's intended. Like the fact that you cannot sell anything during carousel is intended. Like I asked Mort. I asked directly on the stream. He said no, it's not a bug.
Because the thing is,
It's
I
frustrating
remember-
as hell. I hate it, but
So I hate it, and I liked it a lot the way that it worked before. I understand that they removed it from the game because they added the phone, like the mobile players, and they wanted to make it more fair for mobile. I think you could have just left it in and just explained it to be a mechanic in the game, and not just have to remove it. Because taking a mechanic from the game just feels like making it less skill intensive, and that was like I enjoyed that mechanic, but. Having someone say that you can, having someone say that you can't, I don't think Riot has released an official stance on any of their patch notes about it. So I think it's really, really confusing, and I really wish that they would personally do something about it, because I remember like spamming E trying to sell, and then in one occasion I sold, in one occasion I didn't, and in one occasion I sold. So I was like, okay, if it's 50-50, it makes a whole lot of sense to me.
yeah,
I
it's
actually had a real bug recently. You know how if you have a full bench and you get something from carousel, it puts it onto the board, and then you're essentially like a level above what you're actually supposed to be.
yeah, that's the carousel.
Well,
Trick.
Yeah, but I had a bug where that happened, and I held it for a round, and then the round after, I leveled up 3 units in my bench, like at the same time. And when it went back to planning rounds, it didn't put the unit on my bench. It kept it on
Yes,
the board,
I had the same thing happen to me.
and I was free to move everything in the bench, and I had spaces, and I had like a bunch of time to just essentially fake being level 9.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. I was very confused. I'm assuming at some
I mean,
point
I
it
was
was
really
just
happy with it because it gave me level 9 with a unit I actually wanted, so it was insane.
Yeah, that is a definite bug. Wow, that's interesting. Need to try that.
It was
You
crazy,
heard
dude.
it here
I got,
first.
I think it was with Ergot. Like, I had an extra Ergot in, and I was like, oof, I'm
That is so
living for
dirty.
this.
Okay, so for this one, when I looked at this one, the main thing that I looked at was why is Ashe and Caitlyn on the same side? Wouldn't it be more optimal to have Ashe on the opposite corner?
Fine. They can target the same. They want both 1-stars.
Gotcha.
It doesn't really matter. Oh, this guy is kind of weak, honestly. I don't know. Wait, no, it's 3-5. Wait.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember the elo of this player. I can't really remember.
Yeah. The Zephyr, I would just offer my Ashe to be Zephyred. Unless there's a Blitzcrank on the opposite. Oh, there isn't. You already said so.
So the Zephyr was more of a random thing, right? But I think it brings up a good question. Who gets Zephyred here?
It's a 33% chance. Wait, Zephyr's there. It's 50-50 between Rakan and Ashe.
And Ashe?
So I would move the Rakan because I don't want my Rakan to be Zephyr.
Gotcha. And
Yeah,
again,
I'd be
like this
okay with
player
Ashe
was not
getting
fighting
Zephyr.
someone with Zephyr, but I think it was just to have it and I guess talk about it.
Yeah, I'd put the Rakan like one hex to the left, to the right, so that he's not Zephyred.
So I think I saw an iteration of Brawler Blaster that had 4 Brawler and 2 Blasters. How do you feel about that?
That's the iteration of Brawler Blast. No one in the right minds runs 4 and 4.
Okay.
It hasn't been done since the patch that nerfed the 4 Blaster 65.
Mm-hmm.
The optimal Brawler Blast has been 4 and 2.
And how do you feel about the new Jinx that her ultimate does not proc the Blaster buff?
It was a needed nerf, or things wouldn't be too balanced. You'd have like 3 to 4 people going Brawler Blaster every game.
Gotcha.
It was like in PvE. It was ridiculous. Like Jinx was so strong. Like, the comp was so ridiculous. So it was a good nerf. It might be a bit too much of a nerf, but I mean the comp is still doable. It's still decent. And Jinx as a unit is actually better than in other comps as well. I use her as a carry in a semi. Like there were two blasters, 2 snipers. I had a team of some reason. And 4 brawlers, and it was solid. Like I got second. It was Jinx is fine. Ended at that. Jinx is fine.
So do you feel Brawlers might be slightly overtuned and get nerfed next patch? Because I believe they got nerfed when they were in PvE. Like this patch they got nerfed for because of the addition.
No, not in PvE. They got nerfed because it was easier to get the 4. So they got the 4th Brawler's good. The Brawler's HP has been going up and down by 50. Like I think it's been 4 times now.
Oh my god.
So they're just tuning it to fit the next 2 weeks. I feel at this point it's nothing to. So, yeah, that's about it. Brawlers are fine. Like they're not overtuned. They're fine.
Okay, I want to double check what elo this player was. I'm just very curious.
Nar is broke. So
Yeah, Nar. I mean, Nar was broken too, like before.
Okay. So what elo do you guys think this is?
But this guy has he has a lot of gold. He has solid positioning. He obviously has a plan, right, to go for Brawler Blasters or just Blasters, whatever. I'm thinking high elo. Everyone is Masters right now, so I'll just say Masters.
Okay. What about you, Josh? What do you think?
Yeah, he looks like he has a plan, so
You think
It's either Diamond and Masters.
Yeah, I want to say Diamond just to not say Master as well.
Okay.
There's actually crumbs. So.
Curm X?
Yeah.
Curm? Ziggs? Ziggs.
Ziggs?
Yeah.
I thought
People
it was
call
crumbs.
Ziggs
I don't
Curm
know if I'm
X.
mispronouncing his name.
No, people call Ziggs Curm X
Oh
because
my
he
god,
does
because
this.
he was the one that made it
Got a
popular.
blast! Yeah. Got a blast! that thing.
I actually learned how to play Chrono Kale from watching him. I think it was awesome. I think he's a great player.
He's a very good player, yeah. He's a very good player.
This one was fun. This one, I don't know. As long as I see new units and new synergies, I'm always having fun, right? So if I see Astra, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Okay, Astro. It's good. And Ionic. What's that? I don't like the positioning a lot. Actually, I don't like the positioning at all.
Yeah, why is Karma so far? I mean, why is Jinx so far from Karma?
No, Karma's fine. Like Karma is the one. There's Jinx will get targeted by Karma. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Let's bait.
So
this is a solid comp. This is super solid. Like
actually, if it's cool, Karanthir, I'm thinking just because I think this is a good example. Joshua, do you think you could give us your intake, and then we can talk about how we might view the game differently? Because like, Karanthir talks, and you're like, well, that makes sense.
No, like I mean, I would move Jinx one hexagon down. I think he has like a lot going on. He has Astro, he has Blaster.
You can take a second to take it all in. I know it's a lot of information, right?
Yeah, he has Brawler. He has a lot going on, so that's pretty good. Maybe switch. I mean, Blitzcrank would be hitting a corner though. Yeah, so I feel I would like the only change I would do is probably move Jinx down and maybe put Nautilus next to. I mean, put Blitzcrank next to Nautilus. But other than that, I feel the comp's really good. At least he has a lot going on. So
I guess I'm gonna ask you positioning. We already talked about that, right? Items, pivoting, and economy.
his econ's amazing. He's at 50 gold. He's doing really well. He's 68 HP, so he's definitely not last. He's in the middle pack. Ionic Spark. Yeah, Nar has a good item.
All right, so what do you
his
think
items are really solid, actually. He has good items on Jinx, good items on Nar. He has a tier waiting.
Yeah, I think I would honestly just make sure like to utilize the tier, right? I'm not a big fan of
Yeah,
having
for
these
sure.
items on the bench like that.
Yeah, I'd put the tier on Nar for like redemption potential.
Ooh, I've seen that a lot. I like it.
On 6-4. And then at the same time, I mean, you're not getting any more items, you're 4-3.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's Arc Raptors. Right? 4 is Arc Raptors? Yeah, 4 is... Okay, so I'd wait with it here, actually, to possibly make redemption. But probably goes on Nar. Definitely move Jinx down 1 hex down. But also you'd put Blitzcrank where Jinx used to be.
Okay.
Because you want
I
the
haven't seen
resets.
that at all, actually.
You want the resets. Like, Blitz positioning right there is fine because he's close to Jinx, and Jinx will target what he brings in. But if you put her 1 down, she won't, and that's bad. Blitz is not really your frontline unit, and if he's where Jinx is, he will still be your frontline.
Yeah.
And then I'd move Nautilus 1 to the left, and then Nar where Nautilus to the right of where Nautilus used to be, so next to
Okay, so you would have Nautilus here, Nar here, and Blitz here.
There,
Blitz here.
yeah. Or it might even be switched Nar and Nautilus. Because Nar will bring things into Jinx. Just put Nar there. She will jump in and bring things into Jinx and she will kill them. So that's okay. He's got the Mystic going. That's great. He's going to take out the Bard for Soraka. He's planning for that. Planning for the Jace as well, probably. And the Ziggs for the Rebels. He's got a lot of things going. He's staying... It's good. His direction, which is the point of this, is good because he's not going for the 4 blasters. He's going for the 4-2 combo and then add Vanguard, Mystic, and Rebels. You can do that. really strong, or he can go for the demolitionist version with Ziggs and Gangplank, which is super strong. It's been strong since last patch, and it's still pretty decent if you can itemize GP a bit. The only gripe I have is that he has a GA on the Jing.
Yeah.
I don't like that, especially if you have Infinity Last Whisper. If you get a red buff there, or any sort of other DPS item, like Giant Slayer, it will be ridiculous. Like Giant Slayer, I think is amazing.
Yeah, like I think
If
at
you
one
could
point
get Giant Slayer.
the ideal comp was like double Giant Slayer Trap Claw or double Giant Slayer Red buff, right?
Yeah, not anymore though. Not,
No, yeah, but
with
it's just like
the
it's such
Infinity
a good
Last
item
Whisper
on
combo
her
is
that at
amazing.
one point you would
but,
like double stack her kind of thing.
yeah, it's fine. It's just now the Infinity Last Whisper combo is so good on almost every carry right now. This is really
So
nice.
I thought that Last Whisper and IE weren't supposed to be good together anymore because of the changes that got done to them.
They're amazing.
Okay.
You get it's like Void on your unit for every auto attack.
I think the
almost
conversation that I was looking at was addressing how. Actually, no. I was watching people talk about the patch before it came, like as it launched or as it hit, and they were talking about how the percentage changes on Last Whisper were gonna affect the interaction the way that you would run of them, the two of them together. I haven't really had the chance to play a lot of this patch, so
those were just the percentage. Yeah, Last Whisper is worse now. It's on 90%, so it's not like your unit is paper now. But it's still like proccing Last Whisper of every auto attack essentially makes that unit like have 75% less armor forever until it dies. That's crazy, right? It's amazing as a combo. It's amazing on Vayne. I think Vayne is the best user of it. Jhin is pretty good too, but Jhin doesn't really need it. I like Infinity Edge Giant Slayer on Jhin better without Last Whisper. I haven't felt like he really needs it. But yeah, on Vayne or on Relia, on Jinx as well, it's amazing.
have you tried? I think it was 4 snipers, 4 brawlers.
No, I've tried 4 snipers, 2 brawlers with Astra, the Astra sniper build.
That sounds fun. I don't know. Again, and as long as you're using a little bit of battle cast, which I honestly I don't love. I don't love the synergy, or the trait, but like I love Astro. I think it's really fun. I love all of the units. What's the other new one? Well, I think it's just Janna.
Yeah, it's just Janna.
Janna's pretty fun. I like the tornadoes. So
I still haven't played Janna.
It's a good tech. Like Janna's just a tech, or a thresh pool. It's good for both. Like I've won a game because of Janna, because he was a Vanguard guy, and it helped get through his. Like I just teched it in to do magic damage. But yeah, it's not. She's not amazing. She's okay in the Exodia Star Guardian thing. That comp's ridiculous.
I think she's a little lackluster, not in terms of strength, but in terms of just like fun. Like I like her ultimate, but like what she brings to the table is like okay, like it just
her ult's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
it just I guess it kind of reminds me of Medium Legends where it's like okay, it's a galaxy, right? But it's like what does it really add? It makes the game longer, right? It's like it's not Nicoverse. I know everybody hated Lilac, but it was something different. It's not Treasure Trove or I always forget the name of one. Star Cluster. I think Star Cluster, like almost all the ones that I mentioned afterwards, I think are like fun because they add an element different, and it's just like it's good. It's always gonna be solid, right? Because you get to flex into something else. But in terms of like fun aspect of it, outside of the ultimate, I guess I would have liked something a little bit more. But there's always next patch. I mean, there's always next set. That's what I really like about the game, right? It's you never have to get stuck with something that you don't like. And if you enjoy it, you know that it's going away. So that fact of it's leaving, you just enjoy it as much as you can. Now it's always there.
Yeah.
So
this guy's diamond.
like straight on, this guy's diamond.
Yeah,
I think so.
high elo for sure.
Okay, let me see. This was actually Pulse.
He was diamond for a while. He devoted it. So
I don't remember
Pulse.
when I took this. I know like if I'm taking pictures of like the more recognizable players or higher elo players, I'll put their names up there. And this one, Okay, this one I think was the Casio comp.
Why is not Morden for Jace?
Yeah, that's like a synergy he's just missing.
I mean, Jace is a better unit, and Mord doesn't give him 3 Vanguard, but actually that's why, I guess.
Oh, okay, no, yeah.
There's
Not
a,
all
there's a,
Vanguard.
there's a good reason.
So this one,
Uh,
I
okay, so yeah, it's the Casio comb.
mm-hmm.
It's got good
Does it have a
Casio
name
items. He
yet?
needs
I
Morello
love all of
though.
their names. They're so great. Like
I just
Shredder.
call it Snake. I just call it Snake. You can
Gotcha.
call it Solid. Reference that. Metal Gear Snake.
Metal Gear Snake. See, I would love that. That's great.
She is-
I'm
she
really
is
bad when it comes to
Battlecast.
names. So
Metal Gear Snake it is. Okay, so pivot. Why pivot? You are in the comp already.
I guess with this one was, can you pivot from this direct at this point? Right, you're at so you're at 3-6.
Yeah, you can go snipers. Easy, you can go snipers. You got the Teemo items there. Got 2 Astros. Got a solid front line. Of course, you can pivot. You can go Astro snipers easy.
So the thing is, like, you could pivot, but honestly, why would you when you have a solid board and bench?
It depends what you get. I would easily pivot out of this comp because I don't have Morellos. Like without Morellos, the power drops a lot. So I wouldn't be actively looking to pivot, but if I got the chance, I would.
Is there any
That sort of
comp
thing.
that utilizes Morello right now? Because I remember like nobody was building Morello
Teemo,
just because it was...
Teemo's fine with it. So Astro snipers. It's not a good slam though.
Yeah.
Morello's just not a good slam against you unless you're playing the Casio.
Gotcha.
There are other comps that can do well. So yeah, Casio, Teemo does well with it. Cybers can use it on Echo, but Red Buff is better because you can use it on Lucian until you get Echo and then swap out the blasters to get Echo and 3BM. Who else can use it? Riven can use it, but she would rather have the Rabadon, so the road there.
Yeah.
So in general, Morello is used by 3. It can be used by 4. The 4 top comps right now. I'm not counting Aurelion Soul because it's a spatula comp. But the 4 top comps right now, like Astro Snipers, Cybers, Vanguard Mystics, and Sorcerers with Riven and GP, all 4 of them can use Morello just fine. It's just not a priority. So it's better than last patch where Morello was like the worst item.
Yeah. I don't know how you visualize your early game, right? But for me, it's always, okay, I have this base set of items, and what I want to prioritize, which compositions I can pivot between that I get the most value out of the items that I have, and I generally let that guide my early game. So
Yeah,
how would
pretty
you
much.
say that you approach your early game?
I try to force Cybers.
No. That's terrible advice. You're gonna have everybody playing Cybers now.
Of course, everyone's playing Cybers anyway. I try to get good early game items from the carousel. So like BF goes into a lot of items. So does armor. So does belt. Belt can build redemption, Morello, Trapclaw, red buff. So all of those are decent.
So
Warmog's
I agree. The flexibility of items is really
ridiculous.
important.
Yeah, I just get like items that build into a lot of good items, and then just let them and the champions I get guide me. Generally, I kind of decide my direction by 2-5 or so, 2-3, 2-5. When I've gotten all my items and I've gotten a few units, so I know sort of what I can go towards. At the same time, if I have like my items mostly do the decision making for me. Like if I have a Rabadon, so I'm going to try to get early game sorcerers, regardless of if I'm playing sorcerers. I'll try to get early game sorcerers that use Rabadons well. And if I go Cybers, I went Cyber. That can happen, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you try to get the units that can use your items well in the early game, and synergies that can use them well, and then pivot to whatever units you actually get, and make more informed decisions with the items you have. Sort of like that. I
I
think.
think the latest pivot that I've seen, and I think it was like a sixth unit pivot, was it 5-1? I think I was watching Pulse, and I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that was the like that hard transition of like still the board, put it in. I'm like, wow.
I've pivoted at the fourth stage. I think I've pivoted the fifth stage previous patch before the mid-set expansion. But I haven't done a late pivot this patch too much. Only at stage 4 I have. This exact pivot actually I was using like a combination of cybers and vanguards and brawlers, I think. And then I pivoted into Astro Snipers successfully as well. I know I'm sounding like, oh my god, he's winning so much. I literally have three bottom four. I have three bottom fours in 30 games. So that's why I'm saying a lot of successful stuff, because so far it's been good. I've got some very close fourths. I could have
Yeah, no, like,
easily
again,
gotten bottom four, but yeah, that's why. Sorry if that happened.
no, I think it's safe to
but
say
yeah.
that you're high elo, right? So they're looking for people that
No.
are doing successful and they are doing
Yeah.
well on the ladder in order to like hear their advice and do better, right?
So yeah, it do be like that. So like late pivots are. I don't think it's a thing. It will become more of a thing as people get more familiar with the patch and judge board strength better and be able to play flexibly better. Mismatch Socks, for example, is because he's such a huge flexible player. He starts becoming really strong, like 3 weeks in, 1 month in. It took him like 3 weeks to hit Masters when Set 3 hit.
Wow.
And he's like, he was rank 1 and 2 for a week.
Yeah.
It's just that the more familiar you get with the game, the better you'll be able to play flexibly. Right now, people are a bit more stuck in their ways, but not that much. Like you already see signs of. I see it in myself in my play, but you already see it in streamers' play as well. That they are getting better at playing flexibly by the game, not even by the day.
Hey Joshua, I wanted to ask, you're platinum, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do people pivot often in platinum? Like how do you feel the environment over there? It's like I hit 2 brawlers, 2 blasters. Is that what they play the entire game?
Yeah, I feel like game is dictated by early game a lot, and you do see pivots here and there just because people don't hit what they need. But the pivots aren't big. Like they if they're playing brawler blaster, they'll just switch to like brawler something. Like they'll keep the old comp, and you do see them fall a lot. Like while they're pivoting, like they lose a lot of HP in the process. But
So
sometimes they
not
get
really
there,
clean
sometimes they
pivots.
don't. But it's very common that you see someone try to pivot, and because of that, they'll go from win streaking hard to like bottom 3 or
Oh.
bottom 4.
Okay.
And sometimes they don't even recover like completely.
Interesting.
Sad.
Yeah, so definitely those are players that probably if they improved their pivoting, they could hit diamond fairly easily, right?
For sure. Like I've seen a lot of people. There's also a lot of people who just play designer comps.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that is the issue. It's still an
Like-
issue in platinum. Yeah.
Yeah, like I see a lot of people do it. Like they'll just try to get the items and hope they hit everything. You see someone in round 5 with like a level 1 Caitlyn, and it's like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, just get rid of the Caitlyn. You don't need her.
It's like, but I want to hit
Yeah.
though. Just I believe.
He's like, I'll get her one day. I'll get her one day.
Yeah, but
What do you mean by the ×2 blitz on the puzzle, by the way?
oh, so there are 2 players that have a blitz in this position.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so-
fine. Let them hook the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is useless in this.
But the caveat is the next person that you're playing is a Cybers that does not have a Blitzcrank. So let's say it's a 50-50 that you are going to get a Blitzcrank. Do you still leave the Kog'Maw where he's at?
Of course.
Yeah,
I might argue.
I have to make the question.
I might argue. I think you move the Casio up 1 as well. She has such a short range. You don't want her to move in the wrong direction. Like I would probably, unless there's a Jace right on the opposite side from the possible next opponent, I would move Casio 1 up.
So I've seen her with RFC.
Rapid fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good third item. But in this case, it's not because you don't have Morello.
Yeah. So I wanted
I
to
think.
ask if you had to say, and this is, and I don't like talking about the game in this aspect, but I think it's just a good question to ask because for some reason people really like their tier list, which I'm not a big fan of when it comes to TFT. But if you had to say, like, if you had one item that you wanted to make in the early game, right? If you could just make one item that you thought was the most flexible item in the game, what do you think that would be? Or do you not think it exists? Like, I don't want to put you on the spot, right? I just
Rabadons?
Rabadons.
Ionic? Ionic is probably the.
I've seen a
probably
lot
it.
of Ionic, and I think it's interesting because like when Set 3 started, I don't think anybody was playing Ionic, and slowly but surely,
Yeah.
like Space Jam became a thing, and then they used Ionic. And this patch, I've just seen a lot of people just slamming it.
I actually
hard.
built Ionic all the time at the beginning of set 3. I was playing Vanguard Mystics all the time with Jace carry. It was
Huh.
core item. Yeah, I think it's Ionic. Ionic fits everything, right? It fits. Yeah, it fits. I think Ionic safest slam in the. Yeah. So
I like that safest slam in the game. I think we can do that. So
I think it is Ionic. I might be missing something.
Mhm.
But like IE is ridiculous right now, but IE kind of needs Last Whisper.
yeah.
Or else it's not that big a DPS increase.
I feel for me it's Trap Claw. Like
I
my
don't like
safe
that.
my safe item is Trap Claw.
So I
Yeah.
think Trap Claw was really strong last patch because of KO,
Yeah.
because of Vel'Koz, right? It was more determined by the meta. Because I'm very unfamiliar with this meta, I don't feel comfortable saying anything in the game. I like armor. I think armor and Giant's Belt are like the safest, like basic components. But after that, I'm still kind of new to the patch. I haven't even done any of my placement matches in any of my accounts. I'm just playing normals whenever I get the time.
I don't like Trap Claw because it uses the belt so much better than Redemption, Red Buff,
Gotcha.
Ball
And yeah,
Mogs.
And I think having different perspective from different elos, maybe he might be getting a little bit more value because it's platinum, right? Maybe people don't do the most optimal.
Oh no,
things with it.
I'm not saying Trap Claw is bad. It's just that I don't like Trap Claw as a like I don't think it should be an early slam.
Oh, okay. Early
Like it
slam.
doesn't give you too much. It gives it. You can get out of an ult that could be just a poppy hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It gives you some dodge, but on a backline carry, especially early, dodge is kind of meh. If you put it on a frontliner, it's okay. It's not too bad. But still, I don't know. Trap Claw I feel is
So I remember last
has lost
patch
a lot of value.
doing red buff a lot because you could put red buff on Ezreal if you were doing Kale, and then you could just put red buff on Jinx if you needed to if you were doing Jinx. So I was pivoting a lot between those two compositions. Do you think red buff is still in a solid place in the game?
Yeah. Red Buff's still great. I just didn't include Red Buff because it doesn't fit the sorcerer
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not the most flexible, but it's still a solid item, right?
It still is. Like Cybers is so strong. Blasters is decent. It just doesn't fit snipers and sorcerers that well. That's why I didn't include it.
Gotcha.
I've played Jinx, Jin with Red Buff. Like it's okay, especially now that the burn is bigger. It's decent and it stops your target, the Jin's target, from healing. So he kills it faster. But yeah, it's not something you want to do. So I think it's Ionic. I stay by my Ionic decision. It fits pretty much it's never a bad item because everyone does magic now.
So okay, but here's a caveat, right? If it's never a bad item, then does that mean it's gonna get nerfed?
No,
Cool.
I don't think.
I feel it's really balanced.
What elo do you think this player is? Platinum.
Actually, the decision to not put in this Morda for the second Jace, that might be a diamond decision.
So just because of that one little aspect, you think this player is one full division higher?
Maybe. I don't know. He's losing, so it hasn't worked out for him. I don't know. Could be.
What do you think, Josh?
I think platinum as well.
Platinum as well. Okay, let me see.
I think I've actually seen that positioning in my games.
So
Could
this
be
is actually
Master,
Saint Vicious, and I believe he
Yeah.
was Diamond or Masters at this point.
he's like ranked 5 right now. Like he stopped playing TFT. Now went to League. All day. I've been watching him all day today. He only got first and second.
Oh wow, I saw a little bit of it. But I
Yeah,
didn't think he was.
he's like 600 LP right now. It's crazy.
That's
So
insane.
rank 5, rank 6.
Dude, I don't know. I love Saint Stream. I think it's very enjoyable. I also like Chris a lot. So, but I know I'm super biased on that one. So.
Yeah. No, it's as I said, yeah, the second Jace instead of the Mord is actually a really informed decision. It's really good at this point.
Let's see. Okay, so this one's the last one.
Okay. Ooh. See, that item combination on the Jhin is not great. Last Whisper without Infinity Edge is not great right now. As you were saying before, that's probably what you heard. Like Last Whisper on its own is not great. If you have Deathblade, Giant Slayer is better because you do more damage the more kills you accrue. And now you're just gambling on that 30% crit that Jhin might crit, and he doesn't even have great attack speed. So yeah, that item is not great, Jhin. Also positioning, as you already asked, you usually split your snipers. So two on the left, two on the right. And I don't know why the Mord has an Onyx Spark and is in the backline. You don't actually want this guy that did it for the Dauntless to die fast, but you don't want him to die too fast because everyone will be full. So I would frontline the frontline.
Yeah.
Funny as that sound. If there's infiltrators, I've actually done this before. You can put the Wukong in between the 4 snipers. So whatever lands there will use his ult on Wukong probably, and then just get stunned for 4 seconds. At the same time, I like 2 Mystics over 2 Vanguards way more, so I think he should have, or she, yeah, you said there's no more girls. Yeah. So I think 2 Mystic is better than 4 Vanguard. I don't know what the lobby looks like, though.
Yeah, so...
but yeah.
He
Karma
was
also gives you Darkstar. Oh, yeah. He already has more. It makes sense he's first. He's super strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would take out Jason Mord and put in like Karma, keep Darkstar, like Lulu for Celestial. Ooh. And then he's golden.
Yeah,
that's the perfect comp.
I'm going to go off the assumption that he didn't have like optimal items.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, also, you need to go 9 to put in Gnar. Teemo without Astro, especially without items, is like a ward. He does nothing.
Yeah.
It takes so you need Gnar and then you put in you take out 2 Vanguards, you put in 2 Mystics, and you add Gnar. That's the final comp.
So Blitzcrank hooks Caitlyn. I think that's pretty straightforward. Sepher gets Jace.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
I don't love it, but if I had to choose anybody on the front line,
no, that's fine. Yeah,
like it's okay.
Yeah, I would. What I would do, I would move Ash to the other corner with Jhin next to her, and put Jace at the exact spot where Zephyr is going, so that it's not a 50-50 between him and Jhin, and move the front line to the front line.
So outside of the front line thing, Joshua, would you do anything different?
I mean, probably get the Astro. I think that's the most important part. Yeah. So your team can actually do something. I do like the idea of getting Mystic in there. That sounds very good. He has Darkstar already. Yeah. Like he has a really good comp. The only problem is the item on Jhin.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a lot of mileage for getting Deathblade?
No, Deathblade's good. It's Last Whisper that's the problem.
But like mixing it with Last Whisper.
Yeah,
he had the Infinity Edge possibility with the Trap Claw.
So that in terms of itemization, then Deathblade with IE would be solid, and Last Whisper with IE would be solid, but then Last Whisper with Deathblade is not.
And I think the best items for Jhin are GA, Giant Slayer, Infinity Edge, with Deathblade being a pretty good option as well instead of Giant Slayer.
I hadn't even thought about the Giant Slayer.
Chancellor is ridiculous. So strong on Jin. Like, he melts tank.
Gotcha.
I mean, he already melts everyone, I feel, but Giant
Yeah.
Slayer is crazy on him. Plus, the attack speed's always nice.
Yeah, it gives... He doesn't get the attacks, but he gets extra AD, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
even
because
more
of
AD.
it. Mhm.
Chancellor Deathblade is also pretty good. I just like that. Infinity Edge just ups his sustained DPS by a level, like consistently. That's why Infinity Edge is so good on him. It's 6-1, so the Trap Claw might have came from Kane or the Carousel, the full item Carousel. But if it didn't, yeah, he probably should have slammed. I mean, he might have slammed Deathblade early to get to this point, so it's
Yeah,
there's not
actually,
really a discussion. But yeah, Infinity Edge is better at it.
I know it's a different discussion, but I actually really want to go into that because I think it's really interesting. I'm hoping it's not too long. But then, when is it worth to have suboptimal items, but it gives you strength early game in order to keep your streaks? Do you think like it's
Always, pretty much always. I mean,
'cause if you're
he
keeping
doesn't
a
have bad
streak-
items.
Yeah, it just and I know this is like the problem, right, with just looking at this one. But I think it's the best way that we can have like a lot of different boards. And relatively, right?
At this point, we're nitpicking. Like, he doesn't have bad items. He has great items. Like, it's fine. I might have put the Trap Claw on Teemo also. I really like Trap Claw on Teemo as defensive item. And QSS, actually, I like QSS more, but Trap Claw is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Because it lets me... I like cornering Teemo. I don't know why. But I like things that give him CC immune, because snipers is kind of fully... When you're playing 4 snipers, it's really awkward to position them. So I really like having Teemo, because Jin GA is better than Jin with Trap Claw QSS. So I want GA of Jin. But on Teemo, I would rather get Trap Claw or QSS so that I can have more flexible options in my positioning.
Yeah.
I can even put them on the same side. Cool. Like, if you have a Deathblade Jin, it's really cool if you put Teemo and him on the same side, because Teemo will explode like at least 1 unit early. So Jin will get stacks. I've seen Jin get like 3 stacks at once with Hurricane. Hit 1 unit, kill it, then hit another unit, and then his Hurricane Bolt goes to another one. Then Teemo explodes the whole front line, and he goes from 58 plus 50 AD to plus 150. So that was crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Even though Hurricane's not that good on sniper anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit from the sniper trait. Only go Hurricane if you get death.
The other thing I wanted to ask, and again, I think it might be nitpicking on the little numbers, but how do you feel about IE and Jeweled Gauntlet? Not for this competition, just like in general.
I don't like Jeweled. I think it still sucks.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody, one of the big streamers, mention that it was just not good together. And the thing is, like, a lot of these things are not comps that I play often. Like, I just don't play Space Jam, and I know that's when it was where it was the most popular. So because I'm not very eloquent or just very educated with it, I'm like, okay, I know of it, but like numbers are changed, so I have no idea.
You only build them like if you build like a Jeweled Gauntlet with your last items on your Victor or something, and then you get an IE from a full item carousel, then yeah, sure, it's fun together, but it's not something you actively go for. Yeah, I feel. Yeah.
So, what do you guys think this player was?
I'm gonna say Diamond.
I don't like the position, but or some item choices.
So I think this is why it's good, right? Because a player might be good at econ, composition,
platinum.
So he was Diamond.
Diamond. Damn.
The only reason I said Diamond is because they got this far into the game. Like, they have a good board state and they're at decent HP, so why not?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one
I
way
don't know.
of saying
I don't know why. I think Astro is better than Full Vanguard. Just chuck the. I would just chuck the Mordekaiser and the already and get like and play with Astro in a Karma.
Yeah, if you get Karma Bard, you have Astro Mystic right there.
So would you?
Bard would be okay too, but I thought about it. But he's level 8, going to 9. A
No, yeah,
level
like,
1 Bard will
Bard's
not
not-
get him any XP. If he had a Bard 2, then sure, that's good.
Bard's not the best, but I mean, it gives you Mystic and Astro.
Yeah, if you could get a Bard 2, that'd be perfect.
So you're going 9 here, right? Or what? Or
You're going 9
yeah.
for sure.
You
Just
got
clinch
into
that
9.
first.
So would you slow roll 9, or would you just like as soon as you can hit 9 with at 20 extra gold, would you hit that?
You just hit that. You can hit units that you will put in at 9 before. You're not looking for any 5 cost units right now.
Yeah.
So you're just looking to find your Astro, and the 2 Mystics, Karma and something else, probably Lulu. So since you're rolling for Lulu, unless you get one on 8, you should have some gold to roll, and keep a backup Soraka or something in case you hit her. So depends on, like, I don't know if the rest of the lobby is super, like, it's a 20 health. Then I would just I would still go. Yeah, you go 9 always here. Yeah, you always go 9 to just clinch the victory.
So what I want to say about this comp is I like compositions that don't require 5 cost, at least in my experience. I know that if you go 9, you get a good percentage chance that you can go for them. But I love Kale,
Lulu.
and I love Blasters because I could just focus on Jinx, I could focus on Kale, and I was good. So that's my personal play style.
I mean, arguably on Kale you wanted Thresh and Lulu, so...
Yeah, but it was that mid-game power spike of getting that level 2 KO, right? Because like I honestly, I've fallen in love with the power leveling strategy just because there's so many positives to it that unless some numbers get changed around, I don't see myself necessarily playing another style, especially in this patch.
I really like having Lulu in general. Like, it's a comfort thing.
Yeah, it's just strong. Okay, got them all. The elo guessing got better this time.
Yeah. So I think this was good. We're going to be wrapping up things. For anyone trying to get better at the game, I've added my TFT instruction manual in the description, as I previously said. And if you want to be a guest or have one of your boards featured, send them an email. I'll have it in the description below. And we'll see you guys on the next one.